Hi, I'm Ken Shorley. I'm here with a rhythm lesson that you can apply to any instrument you want. This is more of a conceptual thing. I call this pivot patterns. This is not a theory that anyone taught me. It's not from any particular tradition, but it is something that I've been thinking about and developing as a way of analyzing what I do when I improvise, for instance. This probably came from students asking me, well, how do I improvise? How do I create a solo? How do I elaborate on rhythms? And one of the things that I realize that I do is to incorporate these pivot patterns. The idea is, if you're playing a rhythm, and it can be any rhythm that is in a certain time cycle, say you're in 4-beat cycle, 1, 2, 3, 4. You pivot in the sense of you take the number that's on either side of that, so 3 and 5, and you create patterns based on those rhythms. And as long as you play an equal number of each, an equal number of 3s and an equal number of 5s, it will always resolve within a 4-beat structure. Now, perhaps this is somewhat of an Indian aesthetic. In Indian tala, the goal is that you always want to resolve your rhythms, especially complicated, polyrhythms. You want to resolve those to the first beat of the time cycle, which is in Indian music called sam. So you don't have to do this. This is not something that is, required, but it is something if you are accompanying, say, and you want to flow in and out of the time cycle, but stay aligned with what's going on. This could be really useful, and it's kind of fun. If you're into playing solos, frame drum solos, I'm going to demonstrate using the frame drum because it's one of the things that I like doing on this channel. But you can apply this concept, this pivot concept, to any instrument. So you're shifting away from sequences that are based on 4, and you're filling the time. You're still in a cycle of 4. Boy, this sounds more complicated than it really is. But you're still in a 4-beat cycle, say 4/4 time. You're still in 4, but you're creating fills and patterns and variations, pivoting around that 4 with 3s and 5s. We'll keep a 4-beat tala, a clap, and 3 finger counts. And that will be our 4-beat structure. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's very easy to always use patterns of 4 to fill this space. You do 4 4s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or at half the speed, you can do 2 4s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it always lines up with the first beat of the cycle. You can do the same thing by pivoting around it. So let's take 5 and 3. If you do 1 5 and 1 3, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3, right? You can put the 3 up front. 1 2 3, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3, 1 2 3 4 5. Now that doesn't seem especially interesting. What is interesting is if you go beyond one cycle of your rhythm. So if you do 2 5s and 2 3s, it won't resolve on the first time you get to the beginning of the pattern, but it will resolve the next time. 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3, 1 2 3 1. Okay, let's try that again. 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3, 1 2 3 1. If I demonstrate on the drum, I can take those. I'll just do sort of basic outlining patterns. 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3, 1 2 3 1. And then using that as a guideline, I can improvise, I can fill. And that can be an inspiration. These pivot patterns can be an inspiration for your improvisation. All right, before we go on with this video, I hope you're enjoying it, and please subscribe to the channel. You can also join the channel and become a member of the channel for only $5 a month. And if you do that, you are also eligible to get a 15% discount off my new BFD, Beginner Frame Drum course, and I will leave details for that in the description below. Okay, let's try another juicy example. Let's say you are in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, patterns of 6, there is nothing wrong with patterns of 6. I'm not suggesting that you can't use patterns of 6 to fill this space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or even 3s, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Perfectly groovy. But if you want an extra little spice, try this pivot pattern. So if your meter is 6, you pivot around 5 and 7. If you play an equal number of 5s and an equal number of 7s, it will still work out in a meter of 6. Okay, so here's our 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to play a 7 and a 5. We'll start with a 7. You can start with a 5 also, it doesn't matter. Just in this case, we'll start with a 7 and then we'll do 5. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that could be a kind of nice pattern to fill 6 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can also extend this pivot idea like we did before. You play 2 7s and 2 5s. It takes longer for it to resolve, but it will still come out on beat 1 of your 6-beat cycle. Okay, so I'll show you here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 7s and 2 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. All right. Now, from an Indian perspective, that is highly satisfying. If you have a pattern, a rhythmic pattern that goes over and around and beside the tala and then eventually works out, it's a big moment. It's something that Indian master musicians are extremely good at. And it's very fun as an audience member to hear the pattern go away and you think, oh my goodness, this thing is falling apart. And it never is. It's just stretching, it's pulling, giving you rhythmic tension, and then it resolves. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. So 2 7s and 2 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Now let's put the 5s up front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay, you're just subdividing the space. It's really about grouping. You subdivide and then you group. So you pivot around the 6. You can do the same thing. I mean, 5 and 7 is quite interesting. You can also do 4 and 8. That's not quite as interesting from a drumming perspective, but it will still work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But because the even 4 and 8 sort of line up with the beats as they're going along, there's less to play with. There's less rhythmic tension. We'll start with 1 7 and 1 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll improvise using that shape. Two 7s and 2 5s, but let's put the 5s up front. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay, I'll leave it there for now. I'll probably come back and do more videos because this pivot idea is really interesting to me, and I've found a lot of enjoyment in sort of spicing up my improvisations and in shaking up my usual patterns. We all reach this stage in our playing at some point where we feel like we're repeating ourselves. We're playing the same types of things and we're not really progressing. So this pivot pattern, this pivot idea has sort of helped me get over those moments where I feel like I'm stuck. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you like this lesson about pivot patterns. Please come back and join me again for more videos about rhythm, drumming, and percussion.